Hello everyone, Gil, CEO of the Asset Center, here with a little problem for you. And it's going to be a big problem. That's why I'm wearing my go to hell hat. Alright, stick around and let's check out the problem. All right, so this problem is, how do I put this? What do you do when you're in a disaster situation, such, it could be one of those life-changing events. It could be a SHTF, or it could be the big one, it could be a Tawaki situation. But what do you do when everything goes south with your plans? What I'm talking about is, say you have a redoubt, a retreat, a bug out location, whatever you want to call it. Heck, even if you're bugging in and you're all set and you think you got it all taken care of, and then suddenly everything goes south and you have to leave your location. That's what we're going to be talking about here. So one of the things I found out thinking about this is that things are not as easy as they seem when you try to plan things out. Go ahead and sit down here by the computer. Alrighty. Alright, so I got some notes here, so I'm referring to my notes, so don't get offended if I look away. It's because I'm reading notes to make sure I get everything right here for you. Now for this presentation, I'm not going to give you hard, fast answers. I'm going to make you think, because every situation is different. What I think is the correct for one location might not be correct for another location. Because what I envision a location looking like may not be exactly what you have in mind or what it is where you're at. So there are too many variables to do that. So I'm just going to give you guidelines here and try to help you think. Also, if you feel you need to pause the video to write stuff down when I'm asking questions of you, go ahead. It's perfectly all right. All right, so like I said, if this is a life-changing event or an SHTF or a Tawaki event and things have gone south on your plans, plan A has just been flushed down the toilet and you have to leave wherever you thought you were nice and secure to be set up at, and you gotta, take off. Your place where you're planning to go, you can't ride out this event, you gotta leave. So now you're faced with several questions. Now you may get ready to start writing. I'm going to try to go take it slow and easy. So, number one, What do you take with you and what do you abandon? Obviously, if you have, you know, several years worth of supplies, food, clothing, sanitation needs, fuel, stuff like that, you're not most likely going to be able to take it all with you unless you have it already packed up in a super um, four-wheel drive trailer combination, something that you can, you know, go cross country to get the heck out of there. So it's, you know, that's one of the things to figure out. What is your priority supplies to take with you, and what's not? Where are you going to go to? That's question number 2. Where are you going to go to? 2A is, have you been there before? Do you know the location? Do you know what's happening at that location now? Somebody else may have already moved in there. That may have been their plan A location. Do you have a plan C? Because plan A and B could both go south. Now you've got to have to go with a third option. So, do you have a plan C? How long is it going to take you to get from where you're at over to your relocation, your backup plan B site? Is it an hour away? Is that hour driving or is that on foot? The roads may be totally useless, so driving may, unless you got a four-wheel drive to go cross country, you may be out of luck as far as driving. Now you see why question 1 was, what are you taking with you and what are you abandoning? So you may not be able to take everything with you. Will you be able to take enough supplies to last through the next planting season and harvest? Big thing to consider there. You may get someplace finally nice and safe, but do you have enough supplies to get you through to when you can grow more food? Something else to consider. Can you get away safely with your supplies? Or are you just going to be able, are you be, you know, booking out of there with a knife, a gun, and whatever you can carry on in a single backpack and running for the hills? Did you wait too long to abandon your location? Do you think that you might be able to return to your original site? Is it possible you may be able to return in a couple months to get some of the supplies you left there if you've stashed them where people aren't going to find them? If so, is it a month down the road? Is it 3 months, 6 months, next year? Things to consider and plan out. Okay, what is the water situation at your new location? Is it safe? Is it readily available? Do you have to pack it a ways? Or are you going to be right there on the water source? What is the firewood situation? Or firewood situation. Do you have enough wood to keep fires going for several years? Because if you're going to be living outdoors or wherever you're at, and you don't have propane there, you don't have electricity, you don't have any of that stuff, you're cooking on an open fire, just like camping. Is there enough wood to camp for a couple of years? So you've made it to your new location. You've planned all your lists, got everything, all these questions I've been asking, you got them all answered, you got all planned out. You make it to your new location. What's the first thing you do? Do you build a shelter? Do you work on getting water? Do you build a fire? Or are you going to go cold camp for a while? sanitation. Sanitation could be a big problem. Defensibility. You start working on defenses, or are you going to work on camouflage? Keep yourself hidden. Animals. Wild animals, domestic animals. Did you have a dog that you were able to take with you? Did you have a couple goats or sheep that you were able to take with you? You know, what, you know, do you have some domestic animals that can help you? Or are you going, or you have to worry about the animals and wild animals out and about? You know, coyotes, mountain lions, bears, skunks, possums. Hey, they can get into your food supply and screw things up. And a skunk can really ruin your whole day. It can ruin your whole week. So, if you brought some domestic animals with you, other than a dog or a cat, you know, and if you did, well, first of all, if you did is your dog a working dog, or is it just a pet that you're hoping will make noise to alert you to intruders? Is it trained? What other animals, if you brought animals with you, did you bring? And I say, you know, were you able, do you keep goats, sheep, pigs, cows, horses? A lot of that makes decisions and stuff you're going to have to think about what you can be doing with. Where are you, if you have these animals, where are you going to keep them? Now you got to build a paddock for them, corrals, a shelter for them as well. Now, here's a big one you may not have thought of. In your moving from your one site to site B, did you hide your trail? Or is someone going to follow you leave a nice trail for someone to follow you right there? All right. Those are just some of the things. I'm going to take a little break here now. You take a few minutes, review this portion, write stuff down, and then I'll be right back with you. Next question is here to consider: is your new location safe enough for you to stay there, or are you going to have to move again? We need to look into the feasibility of staying there, or whether you should go, or whether you think you're going to have to move again. That's one of the problems in picking out a retreat location that you just go out and find, because you're not the only one going out and looking. All right. If it is safe, is it hidden, and is it defendable? All right. Think about that. Now, along with all this is, what are your long-term plans? Are you planning to make this location now your final place you're going to stay and work, build, and, you know, live there for the rest of your lives? Are you going to build a home? If so, what type? Are you going to build a home in a cave? And don't laugh about that. You build a little house on the front of a cave. The cave maintains temperature, you know, pretty much year round. It's cool in the summer, warmer in the winter than it is outside. You can build walls inside there, make rooms. You know, if it's a large enough cave, you can enlarge it. Or are you going to build a fort-style house? You know, log cabin, logs perimeter around it and stuff. Are you going to dig a tunnel house underground? You know, it's a little bit less. It's more Spartan. All right. Or are you going to build? You have a lot of big trees around where you can build a house up in the trees. That way, it's not so easily viewable if it's hidden amongst the treetops. If the trees don't lose all their leaves in the wintertime. So all these things are things to consider. Now remember something very important. All right, guys, remember, very important. 2 sayings about this stuff. 1, no plan survives contact with the enemy. And number 2, the best laid plans of mice and men often go awry. These mean that no matter how carefully you plan things out, something not may, will go wrong. It may be minor, it may be major, but something's always going to go wrong. You can break a finger, something went wrong. You may be overrun by a bunch of brigands, rogue motorcycle gang, a bunch of, starving people. Never can tell. So always have plans upon plans upon plans. And one of the things to help you plan things out, I have another video series which has been out for a while, Planning for Emergencies. I will leave the description down below here, not description, the link down below into the description so you can go view those out. There's also another one out called Emergency Communications. They're both in the playlist for preparedness. Check them out. The more information you have, the better you are. And remember, if you want to share these out with your friends, family, co-workers, and neighbors, because if they're prepared and they get all their supplies and everything else, they're not going to come knocking on your door for your supplies to take from your family. All right? If you like these videos, pound the like up button, the thumbs up button, the like button. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and click that red button below. Subscribe. When the button turns gray, a little bell will pop up next to it. If you click on that bell, that means you'll get notifications every time I post a new video. That doesn't mean you have to look at all the videos. You can look at the description, see if it's something you like, watch it if you want to. Please, as always, leave comments below. Suggestions on other type videos, comments about things you may have thought of that I may have missed. After all, I'm only one man. So, yeah, leave comments. If you have negative things to say, please follow it up with a way to correct it. Don't just be negative. Give constructive feedback. All right? And as always, stay happy, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. All right? Take care.